For most of modern history, prices went up and eventually came back down. Today they rise and stay there. Not just food, not just rent, everything. And the strange part isn't that it happened once. It's that it keeps happening permanently. Groceries feel heavier every month. A restaurant becomes an occasion instead of a habit. Used cars cost what new cars used to. Subscriptions add ads while charging more. Nothing collapses. Life still works, but the margin disappears. And even when inflation falls, your life doesn't get cheaper. Because the modern economy isn't designed to reverse prices anymore. It's designed to carry them forward. To understand why, stop looking at products and start looking at money. Economies used to run mostly on stored labor. Work created goods. Goods created value. Prices stayed anchored to reality. Today economies run on expanding liquidity. In simple terms, the amount of money grows faster than the amount of real things. And once that happens consistently, prices can't return to where they were without breaking the structure built on top of them. Here's the quiet rule almost no one explains: debt requires growth. Mortgages assume tomorrow's income is higher. Business loans assume future sales expand. Government bonds assume the economy keeps getting bigger. If prices broadly fell, incomes would fall with them. And if incomes fell, debts would become unpayable. So modern economies are built to avoid deflation at almost any cost. Inflation isn't just tolerated, it's maintenance. This is why central banks panic faster at falling prices than rising ones. Cheaper televisions are progress. Falling wages and housing are collapse. Because a borrowing society cannot survive shrinking money. Now comes the second layer. Some prices matter more than others. Groceries rise painfully. Electronics sometimes fall. But housing, healthcare, and education almost never reverse. Because they're no longer just products. They're financial pillars. A house isn't only shelter. It's retirement savings, bank collateral, and economic stability. If home prices fell permanently, banks weaken, spending freezes, and pensions fracture, so the system quietly protects certain prices. Interest rates adjust, supply slows, construction pauses when values weaken. The market doesn't simply float, it's gently held up. This creates a strange experience. Your salary negotiates with today, your costs negotiate with the future. Rent reflects expected earnings. Tuition reflects lifetime projections. Healthcare reflects insurance structures. You're not paying for present value anymore. You're paying for future assumptions. Workers feel this next part most. Wages react slowly. Prices react instantly. So even when income eventually rises, life always feels one step behind. The economy moves in steps. People live inside the delay. Then expectations change behavior. Businesses price for next year's costs today. Landlords adjust before expenses arrive. Suppliers increase contracts early. Predictable increases feel safer than sudden losses. So inflation begins appearing before it technically exists. People adapt too. They buy sooner because waiting costs more. Saving weakens. Ownership matters more. An economy once built on patience becomes one built on acceleration. Energy shows the long-term consequence. Power grids, oil extraction, and mining require huge upfront investment. Those investments only happen if future prices stay high enough. So while prices may dip temporarily, they rarely stay low, because cheap energy today means shortages tomorrow. Technology looks different but isn't. Devices stopped getting dramatically cheaper. Instead, ownership disappeared. Software became subscriptions. Products became services. Access replaced possession. The cost didn't vanish. It became permanent. Predictable revenue supports predictable debt, and predictable debt supports continuous expansion. Again, the system moves upward. Put all of this together, and a pattern appears. Money expands to support debt. Assets stabilize to protect balance sheets. Prices anticipate expectations. Services replace ownership. Wages trail adjustments. No conspiracy required, just aligned incentives. So when inflation falls, what falls is the speed of increase, not the level. Prices settle at a new height. Memory stays at the old one. That gap feels like loss. Because it is. The future changes too. Affordability depends less on prices dropping and more on where income connects to growth. Ownership gains importance. Access replaces possession. Flexibility becomes survival. Cities densify. Subscriptions expand. Costs spread across time instead of disappearing. We avoided periodic collapses by accepting permanent pressure. Less chaos. More weight. The unsettling realization isn't that life became expensive. It's that the system now depends on it. Prices no longer orbit value. They orbit stability. And once an economy relies on rising numbers to remain balanced, going backward stops being relief. It becomes danger.